Hey, what's up everybody? Monty here. Today's video, I just wanted to go over my computer parts, just a little bit more in depth. Some people had some questions about what parts I've been using, specifically the RAM. They make an Hey, what's going on, everybody? Monty here. Today's video, I just wanted to go over the parts that I use for my computer, why I chose them, the parts that I picked out, all the where I got them at. There's no affiliate links, so down in the comment section below, actually in the video description, I'll go ahead and link all the parts that I specifically have with the part number. The RAM. Somebody asked me recently what RAM that I had, and there's like an AMD, I think, AMD variant. So I'm gonna go ahead and link that down in the description box so you guys can check that out. Now, the everything that I have here is specifically Intel. None of it's really, AMD based or AMD stickered or anything like that. So I just wanted to go over the parts that I have. So that way you guys get an idea if you guys are looking at making a build like this. So I don't make any money or anything. Obviously, you see the subscribers that I have, so I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that. But I'll go ahead and leave all the links inside the video description so you guys can check out all the parts that I have. We'll just kind of go from there. So I'm kind of still new on this YouTube thing as far as like talking, scripting, so on and so forth. So we'll go ahead and start with all the parts that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and overlay some. I'm going to go ahead and overlay some. I'm going to go ahead and overlay some the parts that I have, all the links that I got as well. So first things first, I will bring up. All right, so first thing first, Intel 10900K. Intel 10900K, the Intel that I got. All right, so the Intel 10900K. So I did buy that on Micro Center. I bought that actually at launch day, and I'll actually have to look that up exactly to see exactly what I paid for that. I can just give me 1 second. Alrighty, guys. So the i9. All right, guys. So the Intel Core i9 10900K 10 core CPU. I did shows here that I did pay $529 before tax. That was at launch day. I believe it was a Friday. I just went to Micro Center. I asked the guy. I was actually wanting to do a 10700K. I think is what it was called, and they actually had those in stock. And I was getting ready to walk out, and I just said, "Hey, can you go check the back to see if 10900Ks are in there, just to check it out, just to see if they had a 10900K." And I was working overtime, so I was like, "Shoot, why not? I'll just get it." The guy brought one out for me, so I went ahead and said, "Screw it, I got the 10900K." The motherboard, they did not have any. I was going to get the Z490 Strix -E, I believe is what it's called. They did not have any of those in stock. So what I actually had to do, the only motherboard they had actually was Asus Hero Maximus 12, I believe, XII 12, the Wi-Fi version. So that was $399 for that part. At the same time as that, as buying the motherboard and the processor, I went ahead. They only had one NZXT Z73 in stock. They did not have any Z63s. So the Z70, Z73, they only had one of those in stock. So that's what I ended up purchasing. I just seen the reviews online about it, and it was the one to get. And as you guys could see back here, I'm 30 Celsius idling, like that's pretty good. And even under load gaming that I've seen, you guys seen in my previous videos, like the performance is like awesome. So with that being said, like you're able to see exactly what kind of performance you get out of those three items. The RAM, I'm going to go ahead and link that up here as well. The RAM that I purchased was on Newegg. I believe I paid $243 before tax. The RAM that I got is not AMD stickered. It's not the Neo labeled brand G-Skill. And I was just reading anyways, it's all compatible. It's all DDR4 RAM. For whatever reason, that was the only RAM, I guess, on a QVL from one of AMD boards, one of those boards that AMD uses. Really hard to say. It seems like it was just a marketing thing, but the RAM that I specifically got is just Intel only, and I actually think I might have a box for you guys I could show you, just in case you guys are curious. Okay, so this is actual RAM that I got. This is the G-Skill. Okay, and this is the Trident Z RGB. Here are the settings right here. You guys could see it. So it's 3600 C16 D-32GTZR. So that's the brand that I got. Like I said, it is labeled Samsung B-Die memory. If you go on, you just Google Samsung B-Die calculator or search, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the RAM. I was actually, I didn't know anything about the Samsung B-Die before, before I got this build, right? So I was just like, I just stumbled upon a Reddit post, and I was like, that's some pretty cool stuff, I think Micron, Hynix, there's some other brands I think maybe that does memory modules. But anyways, everybody raves about the Samsung B-Die and all that, so I got it. I said, screw it. I'm gonna go all out on this build, and I'm just gonna get it and try it out, right? So I've been using it. I haven't had any problems. In the beginning, when I first got the computer, I was having problems, but I think those are going to be related to like the BIOS revisions, because I did get it about 3 BIOS updates so far on this motherboard on the Asus Maximus 12 Hero Wi-Fi. So that likely fixed the issue, and I'll put a link in the description below for any of the Asus Z490 ROG boards. There's a link I found for the forums where I think this guy might be some kind of worker, some kind of BIOS engineer. Hard to say, but he is uploading the latest BIOSes that are not on the Asus website, so that might be something to check out as well. So yeah, 32 gigs of 3600 C16 RAM B-Die memory. It's pretty good. Like I said, 243. So far we went over the Intel 10900K. I paid $529 for the Asus Maximus 12 Hero Wi-Fi. That was $399, and then this G-Skill Trident ZRGB 3600 32 gig kit right here. Okay, so that wraps up the CPU, board, RAM, hard drive. The hard drive that I got, I think I paid about $100 for it. It is a Samsung 970 Evo Plus NVMe. I think it does 3,000 or 3,500 read-write megabytes per second. So that's really good. Definitely make sure you do have the Samsung driver installed. There's an app called Samsung Magician you can download, and that'll be able to configure the drive. You'll be able to run speed tests on it. You'll be able to update for firmware. All that stuff. Make sure you got the Samsung driver though installed for Windows. Otherwise, it'll usually default to a Windows driver, and that's probably going to be slower. So running the speed test on the drive, I get exactly what I paid for essentially. And I do have another drive in here that I did get from Micro Center. It's kind of an off-brand. It's Micro Center Special, but it's called Inland. It's Inland Premium, 2 terabyte NVMe. I think 3D NAND. So it does about 3,000 megabytes per second, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to link it as well. That was about 220 at Micro Center, and I got that about 8 months ago. So that's good too. That's really good storage, a lot of storage, and I don't notice really any speed difference between that and the Samsung drive itself as well. So both of those drives, that's what I'm running. I did retire the 3.5-inch spinning disk drive. It just gave me some vibrations, some noises. It just didn't see a point to have it anymore, considering the NVMe storage was getting so cheap. So those are both of those drives, and I think on this motherboard I have 3 or 4 NVMe slots, I believe, maybe 3 to double check. So far I'm using PCI Express X16 3.0 on the graphics card, which is the RTX 2080 Ti Black Edition by EVGA. I did pay about $1,000 for that when that did come out back January 2019. So I've had that for quite some time, and I have a NZXT G12 Kraken installed as a bracket. Comes with a fan, comes with the all the connectors to hook that up for the mount, and then I have a NZXT, I believe an X34, 32. I'm gonna find it and link that in there as well, but I believe any of them are going to work. That is just, I think, a regular RGB head. For the cooling head, the cooling block, but I don't really have that on. The light that you're seeing now is kind of a cheapo Amazon light, just to add a little color in the background, an RGB light. Actually, I have a video coming for you guys tomorrow. I did buy some Asus Aura Sync RGB strips. So they said they're magnetic and they were really cheap. So if you guys like the RGB, I mean, I think it's okay. Doesn't really matter to me. But I do like it from time to time as far as like all the colors. It's kind of nice to see that. So that covers pretty much the whole entire computer. I do have, like I said, an NZXT Z73 and then the NZXT Kraken. It's an X32 or 34. That's this whole computer, right? And then everything that's housing the whole computer, that is a Corsair Air 540 case. That was probably maybe 120 bucks. I've had it, I don't know, past 3 or 4 years, so I've had it for quite some time. It's okay. It does rattle from time to time, and I think that that's because this sheet metal is just really thin. It's kind of cheap. That with the plastic panels on it, everything, there's like a vibration hum that I hear from time to time. So they sell this stuff. It's kind of a ghetto way to do it. This stuff that you would use inside of like a for like utensils, right? So like in a kitchen, they sell this stuff. This $5, I think. It's kind of like an anti-slip little mat that you can cut with scissors. So anyways, what I went ahead and did was I cut little squares like this. You could see really small, probably 2 inches by an inch or so. You take this and I kind of wedge this in the corner, and it kind of separates the side panel from the actual case, so I don't get any vibration. It's kind of annoying to hear it vibrate when the fans kind of kick on. It's just kind of like a whiny noise, very, very high pitch, but not as loud. So I mean, right here I definitely do hear it, but it's kind of a compromise right now, and that's with the screws plugged into the back, these little thumb screws holding the side panel on. So it's what to be expected. I mean, a lot of the cases are going to be sheet metal and real thin, and then they're going to, with the plastic, that's just kind of how it is. So I did see some Lian Li cases that I wouldn't mind moving to. Really, the problem that I got to worry about is hooking up the front radiator. I need a front radiator support, and then I need either a back or a top. And with this back one, I don't have enough hose length to go to the top for the graphics card. And just kind of where it's at, I'd rather have the graphics card exhaust anyways. But that's kind of where this case is at. So I might retire the case and just use it for something else. But for the time being, it's working. I don't have to spend any more money on it. So that's really all that matters to me. Another thing is this Corsair K68 keyboard. I just bought this from Micro Center. This was probably 60 cents. No, it's more than that. It was about 80 bucks. I'll put links in it as well. So the only difference between this and the K70 red that I had, The framing, the framing on it is plastic versus metal, aluminum. So aluminum on the K70. I've had that keyboard probably like 4 or 5 years. I think 2015. I think I bought that keyboard. The only problem I had with that keyboard was keyboard chatter. You can Google that as well. There's an app you can use that kind of mitigates it, but it can only do so much. So I did buy a new keyboard. This time I decided to go with RGB. This is really the first RGB peripheral that I bought besides the Razer Naga. I've been using Nagas for quite some time. This is a Razer Naga Chroma. So I've had, I like the Razer mouses, but I don't like the keyboards. But the Razer mouse is good. I play a lot of MMOs. I play World of Warcraft. I play Diablo 3. Hopefully Diablo 4. Maybe I'll try out World of Warcraft Shadowlands. As you can see here, I was playing the Horizon Zero Dawn. So that's a pretty interesting game. I like the Far Cry series. Any of those games, I like them. Call of Duty Warzone, who doesn't like that? But that's kind of the setup here. I also have a pair, I think it's a 2.1 Logitech Z623 surround sound. I think it's 200 watts. I did buy this secondhand, so this wasn't like I didn't buy that speakers new, but I've had them, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. They work just fine. No problem there. Sound good. Bass is good as well. Another thing I bought recently was this Alienware. This is probably the most prized possession in my opinion. The Alienware AW3420DW, I think I said that right, or AD3420DW, one of the two. 34-inch ultra-wide, 120 hertz. Awesome monitor, ultra-wide, no dead pixels, no backlight bleed, no smearing, no ghosting, no nothing. So everything is working just as it is. Settings, if anybody's curious for this monitor, for the 34-inch Alienware, I do have the preset mode on standard. Game enhanced mode, that's just if you want to show like crosshair in the center of the screen, or like I was showing you guys yesterday, the FPS at the top left. You can do that as well. I like doing that. It's because then it's not dependent on my system, and it's not going to lag, it's not going to stutter, mess with my game. So that's pretty cool. Response time, I set that to fast. If you set that to anything other than fast, what's going to happen is you're going to get ghosting and trailing on the character models or whatever it is that you're doing, primarily on games. You'll notice it. Dark stabilizers at 0. That's pretty much it for the monitor goes. Color was dead on perfect out of the box. This was the second return that I did in like 2 weeks. So I returned the monitor because I had some red issues with the color red. And then I haven't had any problems with it so far. I just, basic, kind of a basic bitch background, just gray. It doesn't really matter. So I definitely like the monitor. This whole computer setup, like I said, I kind of saved up money to buy it all over time, but a lot of the newer components I just kind of bought outright because I had some money saved up in a credit card. So definitely don't think that you need all of this just to play some games. Definitely not needed for sure. But shoot, I started all this back. I don't know, I've been doing computers my whole life, so I'm able to, now that I'm having a job and I have an income and all that, so I'm able to buy these nicer things. But that's the whole build, guys. If you guys had any questions about that, I'll link everything that I have between this whole desk and this whole computer. I'll link all of that in the video description below if you have any questions about anything. But everything is, like I said, everything runs pretty good. And if you guys are curious, I could do a video about my BIOS, how I have everything set up on the BIOS. Pretty sure that's already it's already laid out in previous videos. But if you guys are curious, I can show you the settings. I know some people are asking me what my CPU voltage is set to, and so on and so forth. Pretty sure I did that in a previous video, but if you guys need me to, I can make another video displaying that, what all the settings are. I have everything set pretty much manually for the most part. Some CPU core voltage, that is set manually. DRAM for my RAM, that's set manually. All my memory timings for the 1616, 1636 at 1.35 volts, that is set manually. CPU core at 52 times for the core ratio, that is set manually. AVX offset is -2. Load line calibration is 4. It says 4 is recommended for the overclock. My SP rating for the CPU inside the Asus BIOS shows an 87, so whatever that means. I know they have cooler prediction and all that stuff, so that's kind of it. I don't use any kind of software other than what I've already shown you guys. I just pretty much use the NZXT cam to control both AIOs for the coolers and both the fans, both sets of fans that are on, the 3 on the front and then the 2 on the GPU AIO, and then the one at the top that just runs at full speed. In the BIOS, I have that turned off as far as the PWM goes on the top fan, so that doesn't ramp up or down. Just the front fans and the back fan. That's it. I don't have anything set up in the BIOS for that. I turned all that off, and then the fan that's in here for the NZXT G12, that's just running at full speed. That's nothing special. And like I said, it's a pretty basic like setup as far as like I'm not using Asus AI Suite, I'm not using any of the bloatware. It's kind of just a bone dry. This is just like a vanilla like Windows install. I did use there's a couple apps you can download, like W10 Privacy, stuff like that to turn off the Windows 10 telemetry and all that stuff. Phone at home to Microsoft. You turn all that crap off. You know, just sitting here idling. 29 degrees Celsius, you could probably see right there. I'm using 12% memory, 3%, 2% CPU, nothing on the disk, GPU, or network. So it doesn't just sitting here. I'm using not even 4 gigabytes of RAM. So I kind of turned a lot of the services off. If you guys were wondering, I can show a guide about that as well if you want. But I just have it to where nothing's running in the background. I don't have any antivirus. I do have Malwarebytes installed, but I don't have it running or scanning in the background, so I just kind of scan, you know, once a week or so. But everything is working like a top. It should, no problems. All the drivers are installed. Check Device Manager. I was having some troubles with some things. Turns out that there's a USB-C driver on the GeForce on my RTX 2080 Ti. There's a driver for that, and that's why it kept popping up saying that I didn't have a USB-C driver installed. So fixed all of that. I'm not going to use it, but I'll install the driver anyways, just so Device Manager shows everything is installed correctly. So that's kind of it. And then I installed the launchers like Battle.net, Uplay, Epic, Steam, and that's really all. I just reinstalled Windows about 2 weeks ago, so I'm not getting any stutter. Everything is working just fine, as you guys are able to see. So I'm kind of went off of you know, I'm trying to work on my script here, but that's kind of the whole computer. And I do still have AT&T 1000 fiber internet. So if you guys were seeing that video, that's 6 months old or 8 months old. Still have the fiber. The fiber's awesome. I am plugged into the 1 gigabit on the back, not the 2.5. So on this motherboard, it comes with a 2.5. Sorry, I think it comes with a 5 gig. One of the two it comes with. But it's a Marvel, not an Intel. I'm just using the Intel gigabit that came with it. I have no desire to use a 5 gig. I did hear AT&T, I spoke with a technician outside for a neighbor's house, and he said they do plan on installing AT&T 2.5 and 5 gigabit internet. So it looks like just some things on the back end they got to work out and swapping out a modem. So if I do, 5 gig would be good on the computer to use that port, but I just need to use 1 gig at this point. So getting awesome performance out of this 10900K RTX 2080 Ti. Getting everything's ice cold. I got fiber internet, so everything is super low latency, super low lag. World of Warcraft, you know, 6 to 8 milliseconds playing the game. Connecting to Chicago. Call of Duty is about 20 or so, depending on where I'm connected, but usually it's about 20 milliseconds. And really, that's about all games. Fortnite is really low as well. So that's kind of the setup. Like I said, I kind of just went off script. I need to definitely write some stuff down, but that's kind of everything. That's kind of all of this. So if you guys were curious, that's kind of how everything is set up. I'll make a video like probably tomorrow or Thursday about RGB. I want to add some RGB, some more lighting in here. The lighting, like I said, that I have in here right now is just a cheap Amazon one that's probably about 4 years old. But I just put that in the background just to get it a little bit color. But the two that I'm getting tomorrow will be pretty nice. So I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. But Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, the setup. Oh, one more thing. I do have a Blue Yeti microphone kind of back here. You can kind of see. I paid maybe $80. It's a blackout edition that was on Amazon. I think it was around Black Friday a couple years back, but solid mic. Um, definitely worth getting for that. Yeah, that's kind of the setup. These are Linmon tabletops. If you guys were wondering, from IKEA, it was probably about $15, I think, for this tabletop. The legs were, I don't know, $2 to $4 each. And then I have an Alex drawer right here as well. So definitely, I mean, besides like the high end components in here, a lot of this crap is affordable. It's not really too bad. But anyways, yeah, hope you guys liked the video. Comment down below if you guys have any questions for me, any video requests. Definitely drop them down. I'm definitely interested to see if you guys have any requests for me as far as like what games to play. If you guys have any questions about how the setup is, anything like that, drop them down in the comment section down below. Like this video if you guys can. That definitely helps me out as a new content creator, and then definitely subscribe. I definitely would like to get past 1,000 subscribers. That's kind of what I'll do my 90-day challenge. I'd like to get past 1,000 subscribers. I need about 700 more to reach that. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching this video. Like I said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.